In a small town where the school bell echoed louder than kindness, there lived a young boy named Eli. Eli was not loud. He was not popular. He did not run the fastest or speak the most. He sat at the back of the classroom, his head slightly lowered, his books always neatly arranged. And because of that, his fellow students chose him as their target. They teased him every day. They laughed at his old shoes. They mocked his quiet voice. They called him names he never answered back to. Eli heard everything, but he never fought back. Not because he was weak, but because he had learned something early in life. Silence was sometimes safer than words. At home, Eli lived with his mother. His father had passed away years before, leaving behind only memories and unfinished dreams. Every evening, when Eli returned from school, his mother asked gently, "How was your day?" And Eli smiled and said, "Fine." Not because it was true, but because he didn't want her heart to carry his pain. Instead, Eli poured his feelings into his notebook. He wrote. He solved problems far beyond his grade level. Learning became his escape. But at school, no one noticed. One afternoon, during a group assignment, the teacher said, "Work in teams of 4." As usual, no one chose Eli. He stood alone as laughter filled the room. "Who wants the quiet one?" a boy joked. "He won't help anyway." The class laughed. The teacher placed Eli into a group, but they ignored him. They talked over him. They erased his ideas. So Eli stayed silent. That night, at home, he completed the entire assignment alone. Not for praise, not for revenge, but because he loved learning. Weeks later, something unexpected happened. The school announced an academic competition, a challenge that would represent the school against others from different towns. Teachers reviewed records and grades. One name kept appearing at the top, Eli. The classroom fell silent when his name was called. Whispers spread. "Is this a mistake? He never talks. He's strange." Eli felt every stare, but this time he lifted his head. On the day of the competition, Eli sat among students who once teased him. They were nervous, sweating, whispering answers. Eli was calm. The questions were difficult, complex, fast, and Eli answered them, one by one, correctly. When the final results were announced, the room stood still. Eli had scored the highest. The judges applauded. The teachers smiled in disbelief. For the first time, the students looked at Eli with respect. Later, one of the boys who used to tease him said quietly, "I didn't know you were that smart." Eli replied softly, "I always was. You just never listened." From that day on, things changed. Not because Eli became louder, but because the world finally learned to listen, and the quiet boy proved something powerful. You don't need to shout to be strong. Sometimes silence speaks the loudest.